So now we go to the next presentation, to this formidable, in my opinion, artist, a lady this time, and we don't have too many architects who are, I mean, we do have, but not too many who arrived at being acknowledged as they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's salute Niki de Saint Phalle. I have to read her name again because I myself sometimes have some problems to remember all these four names. Niki de Saint Phalle. She was born in 1930 and she died in 2002. So next year there will be 20 years from her death. So Niki de Saint Phalle, born Catherine Marie Agnès Phalle de Saint Phalle. My God, a long name, and I don't think she was Brazilian. Born on the 29th of October. So today there are 91 years since she was born. Was a French-American sculptor, painter, and filmmaker, widely noted as one of the few female monumental sculptors. Saint Phalle was also known for her social commitment and work. So again, let's wish her happy birthday. It is the 29th of October when she was born 91 years ago. She had a difficult and traumatic childhood and a multiplied disrupted education, which she wrote about many decades later. After an early marriage and 2 children, she began creating art in a naive, experimental style. She first received worldwide attention for angry, violent assemblages which had been shot by firearms. This evolved into nanas, light-hearted, whimsical, colorful, large-scale sculptures of animals, monsters, and female figures. Her most comprehensive work was the Tarot Garden, a large sculpture garden containing numerous works ranging up to house-sized creations. Her idiosyncratic style has been called outsider art. She had no formal training in art, but associated freely with many other contemporary artists, writers, and composers. Throughout her creative career, she collaborated with other well-known artists such as Jasper Johns, Robert Rauschenberg, Larry Rivers, composer John Cage, and architect Mario Botta, as well as dozens of less known artists and craftspersons. So here she was, and I would say here she is, and we need the artists badly, and we need art badly, and I will not stop saying this. Here she is. She was rebellious. You cannot have a good artist without being rebellious. It's impossible. You know, the artist wants freedom, and you know, she might be a little bit aggressive in such a picture, but if you look at her picture, at her images, at her face, you realize that, you know, she's not malevolent. She's just underlining the otherness of what art is. Anyway, her work is brilliant, and we are going to see very soon lots of it. Look what she does here. She shoots Notre Dame, you know, in Paris, in front of the cathedral itself. And unfortunately, the resolution of this picture is not satisfying, but you can still see it. I wonder what he wanted to say. Maybe she was protesting against the fetishization of the cathedral, you know, the transformation of the cathedral into an object of desire for countless tourists. Or maybe she was protesting against the hypocrisy of religion, or maybe she was protesting against the excessive cleanness of the western facade, the west facade, meaning, you know, where the entrance into the cathedral took place. But one thing is for sure, we look at Notre Dame in the back, we look at some kind of Notre Dame drone, or there is some kind of bas relief there on that paper, whatever, on the easel, and she shoots, the image of the cathedral on the easel. Why she does that, I will let you ponder upon. But look at this drawing. Vive l'amour. Beautiful, no? Indeed. I mean, she probably suffered in her love stories, love happenings in her life, but through art, she arrived at the conclusion that love should triumph. Vive l'amour. A nice psychedelic drawing. I don't know why she was associated with so-called outsider art. You'll see her art is very in, so to speak. But there is this, playfulness, kind of like in the drawings of Lina Bobardi, which I like very much. I think art should never become professional. Art is not about being a professional. It's not about selling anything, your soul to start with, or your talent. In a way, the true artist is the opposite of a professional. I know what I'm saying could be controversial, but I'm against professionalism, which becomes, maybe interested in the so-called perfection. But art is interested in that fruitful imperfection which life is, and this is what we see here. It's a narrative here. Look, the high priestess or the magician card, or justice court number, tree of life. There is a genuineness here. There is she's not mimicking something that she's not. And she found her way. Look, she signs the NIKI De Saint Phalle. And her work, how do you describe it? But do we have to describe it? She was born on the 29th of October, and she even built buildings. This woman who never studied art, and certainly she didn't study architecture, she built. And we are going to see astonishing works like this one. Now, is art Dionysian? It could be, and it better be, I would say, because art as intoxication is actually stirring up our inner energies and making us, want to be exuberant as well. And look at the colors. These are not the colors for the timid, or quite the opposite. They are the colors for the timid one. So the timid one would move beyond the limits of timidity. And she created sculptures for various urban contexts. Like here. Look at the building and look at the sculpture. And, it's too sad that the building doesn't have the same joie de vivre and the same élan vital like the sculpture. It's sad. But look at this. She built these things. You say she was mad, or you say she was, attracted by fantasies. But what would life be without any fantasy? It would be a terrible bore. That's what it would be. Here is the world of dreams, the world of childhood, the world of projections into another time and into another space. I think they are brilliant. And, this was the woman who just shot at Notre Dame on an easel in front of the real Notre Dame. And you wonder why. Here there are influences from the Beaumarchais Park, perhaps, but there are maybe even some influences, you would say, from Barcelona, from Park Güell. But still her work is very original and it's hers. It's dreamlike, it's fantastic. I actually would love to see architects do such things. Put aside Ernest Neufert for a while, and look what's going on here. I mean, why not? just because we love boredom, this lady promoted life, the opposite of boredom. And look at the sculpture, you know. I think it's beautiful. It's deliciously alive. And like this, deliciously alive, yes. And when I read that she was a lady who suffered in her life and in her childhood, she transformed the suffering into joy. Yes, into joy, into, who knows, mythical animals, you know, maybe a little bit threatening, but also with something amusing about them. Now, the serpent's chair, it's a chair, but look at it, you know, it's a serpent's chair, as its name says, and I guess she likes serpents. You know, we are afraid. I'm afraid myself of serpents, and I probably have a problem. But this lady was not afraid of serpents and other strange animals. Here she is with, I think, her husband, a famous, I think Tinguely, Jean Tinguely, a famous artist himself. Anyway, they collaborated, and I think they were married. Well, she was sometimes extravagant also, I guess, but she was also a beautiful woman. And this beautiful woman also made art that was, I think they were signing here a contract, you know, with some kind of, you know, a very lucrative deal with an art gallery or something, if I remember correctly what I read. But look at the expression, her expression. She's actually not interested in the detail, in the deal. This is my opinion. You know, she's rather distant, and good for her. Again, here she is working on a sculpture, and there is the man. I like this fact that she is doing the art and he is looking. You know, in the past it was the other way around. The man was doing the art and the lady was looking. Now, although he was an artist too, and a good artist, again, dancing, you know, colors, you know, silhouettes, you know, various colors, enjoying themselves, strange animals in the park or otherwise. Here she is. Maybe she suffered, but she's now pointing the gun towards me and towards you. Why? Maybe in order to tell us, wake up from being apathetic, be creative, live intensely, be true to yourself. I don't know. There is the bride on a strange animal. And here is another animal. This one may be less strange, but we see some kind of heart there in the center of the body of the animal. Here she's drinking coffee or something, or a tea. And now we arrive. No, this is not in Paris. We are going to arrive in the proximity of the Centre Georges Pompidou. I don't know where it is, maybe in an American city. She also did things in Sweden. When you have the force to assert what you believe in, and you begin to be acknowledged, you know, then you are invited to Stockholm, to Los Angeles, to Paris, and so on. This is in New York City. I mean, this is what art is supposed to do. This is what Wolfprix and Kop Himmelblau did with their Pavilion 21, the small opera space. This is what Yanis Xenakis did, and with Le Corbusier or without Le Corbusier. And this is what Frank Gehry did, and this is what Zaha Hadid, and this is what Jean Nouvel did, and others. And we have to listen, I would say, to their suggestions. Waking up to the beauty of life, to the beauty of art, and have the courage to assert what we believe in and what we feel. Look at these silhouettes. They are delicious. They are not, you know, the fashionable bodies, you know, very slim and slender and all the rest. No, they are beautifully fat, but they are dancing. They are dancing. This is the important thing. They are dancing. Look at them. They really say yes to life in a beautiful way and in a feminine way. And here is another, and she was not contemplating herself through these sculptures. You saw, she was very thin, but somehow she understood the vitality of life beyond, prescriptions of fashion or whatever. A portrait, I don't know where this is. Anyway, yes, what would we do without art? And look here, she created all these buildings. They are buildings, actually, I love them, yes, they are like in a dream. And I'm surprised and I'm happy that someone paid for them. This is a tower, with some strange thing at the top. They all have, and is this she crosses borders between various species, or you don't know what it is here. It's a sculpture, it's architecture, it's an installation, is you don't know, but that's how life is. Actually, it's between what we call reality and what we call fantasy. Very nice work. And even her drawings are so pure, and she's obviously telling the story of life, most of the time, of course, around the theme of love, relationship, a man and a woman, staring at each other, facing the mystery of the other one. As Rainer Maria Rilke said, that we should never rest until we find understanding between the man and the woman, between the masculine principle and the feminine principle, which is not easy. Anyway, another sculpture or statue by her, colors again, lots of colors. It's kind of a psychedelic, naive art, but it's refreshing, because it's so chromatically engaging, and it's truly a yes to life. I don't know what's written there. Nana Fontaine. I guess she had a series called Nana because we read about it. There are flying hearts there, and but her art is not actually simple, it's even in these photographs with her pointing the gun or the rifle towards us, there is a subversive side to her art, and this should not be forgotten. Now in Paris, because the Stravinsky fountain, which is right close to Centre Georges Pompidou, where we saw that pavilion built by Yanis Xenakis. I love this. I saw it actually, and there is even the name, the Stravinsky fountain, especially is beautiful when the water is activated, and all these things you see here, Centre Georges Pompidou. And actually, the pavilion by Yanis Xenakis was to be somewhere here on the left. And these are her works. You see here the museum for Brâncuș, Constantin Brâncuș. This is Centre Georges Pompidou, and these are the sculptures by NIKI De Saint Phalle. And when the water, and they're also moving, is a kinetic collage of sculptures. It's very alive, and when you are there, it's really impressive. And then there is the cathedral, and it's just beautiful because you have here Domus, the house of God, and then you have the House of Art, Centre Georges Pompidou, and in between them you have the theater of human life, externalized through the sculptures of NIKI De Saint Phalle. There are machineries, and I think her husband helped her with this because he was a kinetic sculptor. But all in all, it's not about technology, it's about joy, it's about colors, it's about movement, it's about strange animals. It's a world which is animated by love, if you want, explicitly or implicitly. Look at these lips, which could make anyone crazy with desire, and it's just joy. And if art achieves joy, I think it achieves its maybe ultimate goal. Although death is not to be forgotten, it's right here. But between Eros and Thanatos, there is an organic relationship. So we would welcome even the skull. Here, through this, we see a little bit of the museum for Brâncuș, and yeah. So moving forward, because we want to arrive also at her buildings. A few buildings she built, but not with Ernest Neufert on her table. So Niki de Saint Phalle in Paris, right near Centre Georges Pompidou. And now some drawings, as we already saw, very colorful. And now, I don't know if I should show this. When I made this presentation, I included, but okay, I'll let it. This has nothing to do with the 29th of October. I just show somehow, by the way of the works by Niki de Saint Phalle, the anatomical drawings of a Baroque artist, one of the greatest, in fact, himself, Pietro da Cortona, together with Bernini and together with Borromini, represent the power of the Baroque art at its best. But he did these anatomical drawings. That's why I included these drawings in this presentation about Niki de Saint Phalle, because somehow I see a relationship. This was Pietro da Cortona, and he built significantly in Rome, and his large frescoes are also very, very impressive. But look at these anatomical drawings. You know, it's, when I first saw them, I was astonished, because somehow they are very modern, but they were done, you know, in the 16th century. And it's something about them, because they are skeletons that are alive. And the way he drew them, you know, and this was, I mean, again, you know, this happened at a time when religion was strong. Rome was the seat of, the papal state and of San Pietro. And these anatomical drawings were without doubt, almost sacrilegious, no? But I guess, someone commissioned them or whatever, but they are incredible, in my opinion. Anyway, look here, we see a skeleton walking. And Pietro da Cortona is amazing. And not just through these anatomical drawings, but also through his pictorial art and also through his architecture. One of the great masters of the Baroque art. Anyway, this is just like an intermezzo. Pietro da Cortona, somehow, although they are very different, the art of Niki de Saint Phalle and Pietro da Cortona, but somehow I see some kind of a possible relationship. Anyway, moving forward, the anatomical place of Pietro da Cortona. I mean, look at that skeleton with a mirror in his hand, you know, and look at his posture, and I don't know, I find it amazing. Back to Niki de Saint Phalle in Stockholm, remembering she a cathedral, and all of a sudden we associate here, or she associated the feminine she with the cathedral. Was shown at the Moderna, you said, the Modern Museum in 1966. So, a little bit less than 60 years ago, it was one of the most famous and widely published exhibition in Moderna Museum history. The exhibition She, a Cathedral, consisted of a giant sculpture, a so-called cathedral, 23 meters wide and 6 meters tall, in the form of a pregnant woman lying on her back, which the audience could enter. So the audience entered this pregnant woman. Inside, visitors encountered an aquarium full of goldfish, a two-seated sofa for lovers, a bar, an exhibition with paintings, a small cinema that showed a Greta Garbo movie, a slide for kids, and many other surprises. At the apex of the belly was a peephole where visitors could stick their head out and have an overview of the entire exhibition space. And here it is. You see the Swedes entering into the body of the pregnant woman. And here is a section through the body of the pregnant woman. It's almost like a building in a way. And this woman was audacious, of course, and it was built and it worked and it was a great success. And look at them, well-dressed Swedes, in Stockholm, entering the so-called building, designed, so to speak, designed by NIKI De Saint Phalle. And here she is painting parts of the body of her building. And here she is with her husband, Jean Tinguely, I think is his name. And maybe this was their child, I don't know. But I don't know. I mean, when I see such things, I have hope. And if I see indifference, I die myself. It's, yes, you say, well, what's the big deal? It's just a little happening there in the Museum of Modern Art in Stockholm. Yes, but we need such provocations. Other sculptures. Here it is, another sculpture. I don't know if it's still in Stockholm or in Sweden. The Swedes are very good at inviting and promoting, forward-looking art in a park. Very nice. Truly, it's a big yes, colorful yes to life. And I'm really, I feel like laughing, when I see these bodies which try to escape without anxiety, gravity. They are really expressing joy. But here we see something else. I don't see so much joy here. Actually, it's terror in a way. Yes, terror. And I think she knew something about terror too. We saw this one, Vive l'Amour. You see here there is a dance, but also there is this dark tool of destruction that penetrates the body of the dancing figure. So there are ominous elements in her work as well, like in this one. This is a different kind of work. It's dark. Niki and Jean Tinguely, yes, as I said, you can't catch it holding hands. It was a poster for AIDS. So I guess she was advocating holding hands. Now the Tarot Garden, here it is, with buildings that celebrate the magic of tarot, and through architecture, through an architecture which an architect usually would not even dream of, but she built it. And it's somewhere in between, if I am to refer to two possible references, somewhere between Gaudi and Hundertwasser. But she is herself. She is herself, all right. And, compare our white placid walls with what she did here. Can we compare? We can, but we better not. Anyway, it took an artist to do this. That's not her, but it doesn't matter. It's can you imagine? Each is one of a kind piece. I mean, every column is one of a kind. And this is what happens when you allow the artist to be free. You know, each column is different from the other, and they are not repeated anywhere else. Did she do this with a T-square and a rectangle? No. Did she do this with, you know, Neufert on the table? No. How did she do this? Well, she did it in freedom and with a desire for expressing something that she wanted to express. Anyway, interesting lady, interesting artist. Look at this. You know, we go through a whole life, longer or shorter. We dedicate ourselves to the art of building, to architecture. But we don't even dream of building something like this. Maybe she didn't dream of it either. She arrived at architecture because it is architecture, you know, almost by accident, I guess. I don't know, but she did it. And she brought sculpture and mosaics and all kinds of things in the proximity of her strange architecture. Bravo to her. Here she is, maybe a little bit older. Here are some other figures that she envisioned, and that's it. And let's wish her happy birthday. Thank you for being here.